Mr. Dabengwa, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. It's been nearly 30 years now since you fought for and won independence. What, in your opinion, has changed in Zimbabwe for better and worse?
Well, a lot has changed, Robin. Since 1980, lots of good things have happened. For instance, our education system, our health deliverance and that sort of thing. All those things were very rosy to start off with. But later on, when the economy started getting down, they were all affected. And we've gone back to square one, and we've got to start all over again. So that's things that have gone from bad to worse. When the land issue came up, unfortunately the manner in which it was applied caused a lot of friction.
Dumiso Dabengwa chooses his words wisely. As the former head of intelligence of ZAPU's armed wing ZIPRA, he oversaw hundreds of covert cross-border military operations during Rhodesia's Bush War, also known as the War of Liberation. 30 years ago, when Zimbabwe won its independence from Britain, Robert Mugabe was elected Prime Minister. Much to the distaste of ZAPU members who believed that Indebele commander Joshua Nkomo should have led the country. 3 years later, though, the Indebele people felt the full wrath of Robert Mugabe. More than 20,000 mostly Indebele people were massacred at the hands of the Zimbabwean army. Dumiso Dabengwa was jailed for 5 years for treason.
It was very painful. Very painful. I could only imagine what was happening. I got stories, of course, from people who got arrested and were thrown into prison together with us on suspicions of being supporters of the so-called dissidents. Fortunately, Joshua Nkomo did, and at the end found himself forced to accept the Unity Accord.
After Nkomo signed the Unity Accord, ZANU became ZANU-PF. And for 20 years, the party ruled Zimbabwe with an iron fist. Dabengwa was let out of jail and the charges leveled against him dropped. He later became Home Affairs Minister, a post he held for nearly a decade. 2 years ago, when the country was in the throes of an economic and political meltdown, Dabengwa announced he was leaving ZANU-PF. He threw his weight behind another ex-ZANU-PF member, Simba Makoni, in the contested March elections. Makoni won about 8% of the vote. Last year, Dabengwa announced that he was reforming ZAPU.
What made you decide to reintroduce ZAPU now?
Well, it's, like I said, it's those issues, those aspirations that people had at independence. And ZAPU had its own aspirations. If you look at its manifesto of 1980, what ZAPU hoped to achieve in the country, and its policies that it had put across that it wanted to follow, most of these were not followed at all. They did not get any room during the ZANU regime.
Are you worried that perhaps ZAPU's role as a new role as an old political party could polarize the country even further?
Not at all. ZAPU is merely taking its place, which it had in 1980. And there is no polarization. We've come out as a party, we've all agreed people must have a choice of association.
Mr. Dabengwa, would you ever consider going into a coalition with another party?
Well, depending on what the results of the elections would be, when the elections take place, ZAPU would certainly, if necessary, be able to choose a partner that it would go into a coalition arrangement with.
Dabengwa admits that the biggest obstacle ZAPU faces at the moment is funding.
Well, we started afresh from scratch as ZAPU. All our assets that we had as ZAPU that we brought into the unity arrangement, we're not able to get back.
But believes that support will come with time. And time as a cattle farmer he has. And as a decorated war hero representing a party that also helped liberate Zimbabwe, Dabengwa has a secret weapon.
Are you scared of President Robert Mugabe?
I'll speak out for the people of Zimbabwe. I'll speak up for my party, ZAPU. And I have no fear of saying what I have to say.
Robin Kryl, eNews, Bulawayo, Zimbabwe.